That's nice. Who was that by?
It's a band called Amsterdam from Liverpool.
I like that a lot.
Does his train stop on Merseyside?
Very good. We have with us...
from Liverpool.
Listen to that voice.
Yes.
Well, it confuses me. I suppose it doesn't confuse the youngsters that listen to it. They would understand Amsterdam from Liverpool.
It doesn't mean anything to anyone, but it's a pop song, and so we don't dwell on it so much.
Let's move on.
We normally let it go. Why have you got his hand right over his manly package there for a second? Which was a fantasy I've treasured for many years.
It was the look that Andy gave me when I came in.
I thought he was look at me and say, "Make it so." I'm sorry, I'm spoken for.
Take care of yourself, Patrick.
How are you, Patrick? You look so well.
I'm extraordinarily well, yes.
Unbelievable. Look at him, full of life.
Yeah.
You are such a you're a fine example. I mean, you're not an old man by any standards, but you're not a young man. We wouldn't say that anymore, would we?
No. I haven't been for a while.
And look,
young.
But you're one of those people who, we don't even think you're faking it. You just seem so energetic, so full of life.
Well, one of the P words I was thinking was actually preserved.
Oh.
I'm not sure that that's fair to me.
No, it's not, because you do not look preserved.
No.
So Ian McKellen, yes, he looks like he's been pickled. And God bless him. But you see, when he comes in with energy, we know he's putting it on to impress the young folk.
Really?
He even told me so much.
He did indeed.
He said before he comes in the room on a new job, so they don't think he's not going to last the end of the run, he goes, "Here we go. Hi, everyone," and bursts in the door. Keeps up for as long as he can, and then has a sit-down. But you, I don't think that's the case.
No, I think it's genuine.
Do you work out? Do
I
you
do.
keep fit like that?
I have a trainer.
Oh, I see.
Twice a week with a trainer, and then the other days out on the riverbank.
Out on the razzle. Tails.
No, on the riverbank. Both begins with R, but the razzle is something that I gave up long ago.
So you're not a party animal anymore?
Well, I'm not a party animal for one simple reason, and it's funny you should bring this up, because I was talking about it only this morning at some auditions. I don't get invited to parties.
No.
I haven't been to a party for years. Now, I give parties,
yes,
and I throw dinner parties, and I'm very, very good at it. And one of the reasons I throw them is that I hope that some of the people who come might
invite me back. That's the rule. That's
Never
the rule.
happens.
That's the rule. That's the etiquette.
Never happens.
What kind of people are you inviting then?
Obviously, the wrong people.
The wrong kind.
Clearly. Not friends, that's for sure.
Transients? They don't have a house to invite you back to?
Is that what transient means?
I don't know. I'm not quite sure. It's a politer word than traveller, I believe. Well, come round to my house. Do you want to come round for dinner?
Absolutely. What are you doing this evening?
Hold on, he paused for a second there. There was a shelling moment there. There was a Pinteresque moment.
Well, it was the same look that Andy had on his face.
Yeah. He never gets invited around anymore because he's blotted his copybook.
Yeah.
He got drunk and abused my friends about a movie they liked.
I did.
Yeah,
well, there are certain subjects you should keep away from. And
well, movies you're normally fairly safe with. I mean, religion and politics, I'll give you that. But movies...
That was years ago.
Not the point.
Oh, is that the reason why I'm not invited around anymore?
Not the
Bearing
only
a grudge, Jonathan.
Not me, it's my friends. I'm sorry, but they always say, "Is Andy coming?" And if we say no, they're mysteriously always busy. You're welcome anytime, Patrick.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Now, Andy went to see you in A Life in the Theatre.
So I hear. What did you think, Andy?
I loved it, yeah.
Did you? Because I thought there was a sort of questioning tone in your voice when you responded to Jonathan.
No, the only thing I said was that the changes all the time can be quite confusing.
But now, when we say changes, is this you play different characters? Or?
No, but it's like individual segments that often is like 30 seconds and it just moves
different
to another
scenes.
thing.
Yeah.
Different. Is it very fast moving?
It is very, very fast moving. I don't know which performance you saw, but it runs between 83 and 88 minutes,
right,
depending
so
on the audience and our energy.
Time, yeah. So if you're really going for it, it's
it can be 83, 84 minutes. Now, there are 26 scenes in those 83 minutes, so you'll appreciate. And the first scene is the longest, and that's 12 minutes. So when you take 12 minutes from 86.
So the rest must be going to 6 and 5 and 4. What's the shortest scene, do you think?
I would say the shortest scene is probably 35 seconds.
Wow, that's barely time to do it. And is that just one person on stage, or is there an exchange?
Oh, no, there are two of us.
Wow.
There are two of us. But we also have a costume change with every single scene, too.
Oh.
Now, that might be nothing more than taking off one hat and putting on another. Or it might be a complete period costume change.
Well,
were you impressed with that?
I did, yeah, I liked it. And I love
sounds
the
daunting.
because the whole idea is it's backstage in the theatre, but then there's moments when they're on stage, but you're looking at them
sideways on.
No,
from the back,
from the
other
back. So
side.
you're looking at as if you're looking at the audience looking at them.
Already I'm confused.
I can see that. Come along, you'll find it's much simpler
I'll
than
be honest with you, I normally doze off when I'm out in the evenings, no matter what I'm doing. And if I dozed off and saw you with your back to me, I would think I was in the wrong place, and I'd probably stand up and start making my way around the front, and who knows where that would lead.
Well, I think it would lead to a lot of fun, because we would be delighted to have you visit us on stage.
I'd be stumbling out in front.
Anytime.
No, it would be horrible for you.
No, I promise you wouldn't doze during this.
83 minutes, there's no time to doze, really. Is there a break in there?
No.
Oh, I like this already.
Yeah, straight through.
You take a big breath and we go for it. And it's... the nice thing about promoting this show, which is partly what I'm here to do, is that I can recommend it to anybody.
So
it's practically any age.
For youngsters as well?
Oh, yes. Any, it's such good entertainment.
We're talking about 10, 11-year-olds upwards, really, not real little
Absolutely.
kids, because they need to follow the gist of the plot and the story.
There isn't really a plot, you see. It's a series. In fact, there isn't a plot at all. But it's a period of weeks in the life of these two actors backstage, working somewhere in a regional theatre in the United States. So we see them in the dressing room, several scenes in the dressing room, taking their clothes off too. You didn't mention that, did you, Andy?
No, that's why you're doing your working out. He gets his top off.
A good chest?
Yeah.
Gets his top off?
Well, no, you've got it in your pants as well.
Oh, I should say so.
Not completely naked, though, one hopes.
What do you hope?
Well, for children.
No, we do get down to underpants, or knickers, as I like to call them.
You call them knickers? That's quite radical.
Yes.
Knickers,
I've lived in America for a long time.
Knickers are for girls, though. No. Underpants, that's the way forward.
No, but it has the kind of Marks and Spencer's feeling.
Do you wear
about
a Y or just an all-in-one?
Can I tell you one of the saddest stories I ever heard?
Please do. We can't wait.
My son told me this story. He went to school in Hammersmith, and there was a lad in the class who was being teased a lot, and he was a bit shy and a bit gawky. And one afternoon, Dan and his pals, they called into the Marks and Spencer's there, and this lad was there with his mother. And his mother was making him try on underpants over the top of his school trousers.
Oh, no.
In the aisle there. Isn't that shocking?
Years of therapy. That
Endless.
Why would you do that? Unless he enjoyed it. Unless he wanted it. Unless he was paying. Maybe it wasn't with his mum. It was a very high-class hooker. Maybe not. One of the saddest stories you've ever heard, ladies and gentlemen, ruined by me. I just blundered in and had to drag it down.
I shall retitle that story in future. Arguably, one of the jolliest stories you've ever heard.
Could be, depends on your point of view. So I love the sound of this, though. I mean, the idea, because there was a certain wonderful romance and kind of poignancy to small-time anything. I mean, the performers working not in the middle of it and either coming to terms with that or permanently feeling, left out, missed, passed over.
Well, it's certainly a lot of that, because the two actors involved, Robert, who's a man, it's perfectly clear by the end of the play, at the end of his career, and a career that isn't going to go anywhere and hasn't gone anywhere furthermore. Yeah. But the young actor is on the way up. There's talk of an agent and a film coming up and television and so forth. So what you watch in the course of these 80-odd minutes is the dynamic between them change, where the young actor is like a little puppy, eager for any advice, and will sit and listen to this droning on about his career and life and acting and talent and so forth. But then by the end of the play, the situation is very different.
It does sound terribly sad.
It's vast. It's sad at the end. It's poignant, shall I say.
I like poignant, though. I like to leave with a little bit of a lump, so to speak.
Well, you would in this case.
We're back to the mum and the
underpants.
underpants.
Nothing to do with taking the clothes off. You're right.
But it sounds to me like
dear.
it's, being a double hand like that, being you on stage, that pace, a short play, but one where you need to really take a run at it. I would imagine what a fun experience for you, a good play to be in. It
is, because you take a big breath at the beginning and start, and it's a race all the way through, with all these costume changes in the scenes as well, and it's the David Mamet. The writing is very muscular, very energetic, very
quite
vibrant.
Aggressive prose, you normally specialise in.
This is a little untypical in that respect, because it has its moments of aggression and language as violence, but it's rare. It's a very, very affectionate tribute to the theatre that he knew and grew up in, because, like Mr. Pinter, he grew up as an actor.
So he worked first, and then he's kind of coming from the other side now.
Yes.
Has he been to see you in the play? I mean, is that something you enjoy, having a writer come and see you do his work?
It is the most terrifying experience, I think, for all actors, when you have the living playwright, particularly as in this case. He wasn't around during rehearsals, so he hasn't been softened up as to what you're doing. He hasn't contributed to the production. He's not aware and familiar with what you're doing. Last night, David Mamet was sitting out front.
Last night he came to see it.
Last night. You say to yourself, oh, to hell with him. We don't care. It's just another member of the audience.
Yeah.
We're not going to do it for him. It's impossible.
Of course you can't.
So what we actually gave was a good performance, but it was a little careful. Do you know what I mean when I say careful?
Yes.
We're reckless in this show, Jonathan. See, I'm obsessed with your name. Yeah. Joshua and I, we're a little reckless. And last night we were less reckless because, anyway, he came backstage and he couldn't have been nicer.
I understand that, because like if you're playing tennis and it's an important point, you don't hit the ball as hard as you would otherwise because you're so scared of it going out. And I guess it's the same in that way. You don't go quite as far and push it to the limit.
I love sporting analogies when it comes to the theatre, and you provided me with a brilliant one. I shall claim it as my own.
You may have that. That's my gift to you.
Thank you.
A perfectly formed little sporting analogy for you. I like to think that I give as well as receive. Okay, now, do we have time for another track?
Yeah.
We can still talk before we have Way In. Yeah. Let's have a little bit of music, and I'd like to find out whether X-Men 3 is happening.
Oh, yes.
I'd like to find out whether you're coming back with a Christmas Carol, your
yes.
one-man show, which I've never yet got to see, and I've been dangerously close a couple of times. But I'm hoping that's come back, and let's talk some more about just life in general after this. We're here talking with Patrick Stewart. We've chatted about his play, A Life in the Theatre at the Apollo Theatre. I'm going to see it in a couple of weeks' time. You've sold me on it completely. Because I love Mamet. I love the rhythm of his dialogue, and I normally like where he's trying to take people. So, to see you in it would be marvellous. Now, The Christmas Carol, your one-man show, which has been hugely successful the world over, you haven't done for a couple of years, I believe.
10 years.
10 years?
Since I did it in England.
Wow.
I only did it here once, did it for 2 weeks.
Well, I met you when you were in the States, you were doing it.
Yes.
I couldn't get to see it because I was filming. I didn't have a night off we could come and see you. And I've been waiting for a chance to see you again. And will you be doing it again, do you think?
Well, looking ahead through the year, it seems that there's a window opening up December, January maybe.
Right.
And
no Pantos come knocking this year?
No, I have offered. Well, I mean, Ian McKellen has cornered the market.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he? Yeah.
I'm not going to go and compete with that.
You can't.
Sir Ian as Widow Twanky.
The Great Dame. So you might do it this Christmas?
I'm seriously thinking about it.
That would be fabulous.
For one thing, it's a matter of age and energy. It's 15 years since I first did it. And, I'm not as young as I was.
But
it takes a lot. It takes a lot physically to do it.
This is, Dickens' Christmas Carol, of course. Patrick does it. It's a one-man show on stage. He works as the narrator and then brings the characters to life as well. And it's meant to be a stunning performance. I said I haven't seen it. I've been on the set. I've stood nearby when he was getting ready to do it. Haven't seen it. I feel teased and tempted, and I would definitely go if you're doing it this year.
You will. Very good. Then maybe I'll come back here sometime in November or so. But we'll talk about it.
Is there room on stage for a not so tiny Tim?
How would you feel about Mrs. Cratchit?
Well, the thing is, I've got my own crutch, so I could be Tim. Tiny Tim. He's had a few good years.
Yes,
that's what it could be.
Yes, I've got to get you on my shoulders. That's the problem.
But let's go back to the play. And what about? Well, that would be great news, and you must come back and tell us if you're doing that.
I'd love
because
to.
That would be a lovely thing. What about the X-Men 3? Because X-Men is a superhero film par excellence. Number 2 even better. And let's face it, people think that superheroes quite naturally transfer to cinema and it works. It very rarely does it because so many superhero movies die on their backside. The X-Men has been a fine example of one that works. So I'm looking forward to number 3. Have you started work on that yet?
No, they go into production in July. I've not even seen a script yet. I have an idea of the storyline.
You know who the villains might be?
Yes.
You probably can't say.
No, I can't.
Oh.
No.
Can you just give us the
No. I think
can you mime the powers of the... No, I will guess them. I will guess them.
We sign every time we get a script. Every time a draft of a script is sent, you have to sign a page which says you will not under any circumstance distribute, let anyone see it. And every page has got your name printed through the middle.
I'm going to guess who they are. I'm going to guess who the villains are. The Sentinels. I'm going to guess the Sentinels. Because they are the biggest threat to the X-Men. They're these giant super robots that hunt out and destroy mutants.
Yeah, but are they bigger than Professor Xavier?
But his brain is bigger than theirs.
Yes, and that's ultimately all you need.
Yeah, but I think the Sentinels would make great villains.
Really?
Oh, come on!
May I mention that to...
mention it to the
Fox
people
and
and say, after my no doubt successful one as Tiny Tim, I am available to be a Sentinel.
Sentinel, yes. I think I'd like to see you as a Sentinel first, and on the basis of that, I would judge your suitability.
In a very heavy robotic suit. Yeah, with special effects around me. See, no faith. Doesn't want to bring the young actor up into the business, eh?
No, I do.
Just like the character he plays.
Obviously, there's an audition process in all of this, and I think a multi-million-dollar budget movie would be the place to audition.
I think it's the best place for me to be on screen. Oh, before we run out of time, I'm very excited as well. You're doing the dub, doing the voices for the English language version of Steam Boy, the new movie from Katsuhiro Otomo.
Yes.
The genius behind Akira.
Yes, and Steam Boy is dazzling.
I've downloaded the trailers of Steam Boy. If you've got a computer and you do this, go online and find trailers from Steam Boy. It looks exquisite.
It's I don't know where to begin to describe it. It is so astonishing. For one thing, it's set in the late Victorian period, and it's about engineering.
So it's like kind of futuristic machines, but all steam powered.
That's right.
What a lovely idea. It looks beautiful. You've done this already? You finished it?
I have done my part of it. Oh, yes, it's finished. The whole movie is done. Yes.
Is there a room for a small voice to be provided? Maybe that could be a little teapot, a little steamy comedy teapot.
I mean, on the one hand, it's impressive to see so much ambition still alive in you.
Steam. Yeah. That's pretty good, isn't it?
If only we had you available to us when we were putting the sound down.
No rehearsal necessary. Steam upon request. I guess we better say goodbye.
No, I've got a bit more time.
Oh, good. Thank goodness. Well, because Ray's warming up then. He's got a beard on him, and I don't want to keep a man with a beard waiting because it's not often you see a beard in pop. So you're just about as busy as one could get, I imagine, aren't you?
After a very quiet where are we? 2004. Yes, this year has been terrific.
Oh, really? So last year was quiet for you?
It was, yes. I took a chunk of time off, and that willful, deliberate taking of time off turned into unemployment.
Yeah.
And but it was fine. It was.
But
great.
there is I guess that's the worry, because when you're working, especially when you're doing the Star Trek, the TV thing, of course, that's quite a grueling schedule,
Very.
and you're trapped in that, and you must think, I would love to take a year or two off.
Yes.
But once you get the time.
This year I did, and it was wonderful. And then it got a little bit uneasy when things went quiet.
The phone stopped
as
ringing.
we say.
Yeah.
But
And then you found out that Ian McKellen had snipped your phone line.
Well, he's getting everything, isn't he?
God,
Everything.
I'm sick of the sight of him. Coronation Street, he's on the stage, he's everywhere. Magneto, God, the Sentinels will sort him out.
But I understand
next
he's
movie.
back anyway.
Yeah, he'll be back as well, of course.
I mean, in what we were talking about, X-Men.
X-Men, of course he'll be back. You can't. It's like Batman and the Joker, really.
Exactly.
You want these
You've got to have Magneto
these
and
two
Xavier.
huge brains. That's why it's a thoughtful movie, and that's why I suspect Fantastic Four, from the look of things, I don't think it's going to be a hit.
Really?
I'm
sorry,
disappointed
dear.
already.
Oh dear.
Doctor
oh dear.
Doom, they've made him look like a big old fancy dress person.
Really? Speaking of fancy dress person, the last time I saw you, you were dressed as
Steady.
Pardon? What?
Steady. Where are we going with this?
You were dressed as Dracula.
Was it dressed as Dracula?
When was that?
I was down at the television studio at South Bank, going up the stairs. You were coming down in a cloak. And
No, hang on.
fangs
That
and-
was my Comedy Awards dinner suit.
That was it.
It was a marvellous outfit.
Yes.
It was based on
Dracula.
Elvis. No, well, I thought I looked like Elvis, the early period Elvis.
Dracula.
Dracula.
No, it looked
Why,
like,
I've never been so insulted.
it looked like Jonathan Ross's Dracula, and it was actually impressive because you carry, you have size and scale.
I've got a bit of bulk. It's got to be said. I'm sumo-esque, it has been said, yes.
Did you have teeth in then?
No, I did not have teeth in.
I
Stop it with the
thought
Dracula.
I saw the teeth. It was so impressive. The outfit, the costume was so impressive. I believed the teeth to be there.
I think I might have, given him a vampiric look. I think I was looking at the young woman showing upstairs at the time, hungrily. That's right.
You know what? You were.
Yeah,
and
hunger.
it was noted.
I like to get hungry before a show, and let's face it, when I'm on screen, the ladies know I'm hungry.
It emanates, doesn't it, from you?
Let's move on. Patrick, always so lovely to see you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Delighted,
It's really
Jonathan.
nice. The play, which Patrick is currently in the West End of London, is A Life in the Theatre at the Apollo Theatre, Shaftesbury Avenue, in London's glittering West End. It's only running until the 30th of April, so you better get yourself a ticket soon. I don't think there are that many left. I'm going to sign up for a couple of weeks' time. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Lovely.
83 to 87 minutes of crisp theatre. What more could you hope for? Patrick, lovely to see you again.
And you, Jonathan.
Have a great weekend.
And this is Ray LaMontagne.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up after this.